with open arms. I embrace you, love, though I have at times hidden from your touch, because I thought you smothered me, required that I be the air for others to breathe, the water for others to drink. I embrace you, love, though I have at times denied your advances, knowing that for me to accept your gifts, I must offer those of my own. I embrace you, love, having known you as ladder and crush, when I wanted to dance, to walk, to sit in stillness. I embrace the dreams you send me, and the tears that spill in moments when you crack open my heart to remind me how full it is of starshine and silk. I embrace you, love, who will not catch me when I fall, but instead advises me to swim in your surging waters. I embrace you, love, though you know no forgetting and insist I continue to feed on your fruits of forever, ever more powerful. You make me claim you as intimate companion. Filmo's street woman, treading water in a life of hard choices. Wrong decisions, limited alternatives, stock pins are embedded in her eyes and mouth. Once she knew she was beautiful. If you look closely, you can still feel the edges of the fire that burned in her eyes, on her skin, in the way her back arched across Filmo's street corners. She wore her nails sculpted in red in those days when this street was ours. She sat on a bar stool, snapped her fingers, and hunched her shoulders as smoke rose between the bandstand and counter, and the scene got hot and sultry, and the music pressed out the doors and down the street. Further down, she slid in at Jack's, had another cigarette lit, flashed her teeth, laughed as the club spun tight, shoulder to shoulder, thick smoke and blaring saxophone. Then she checked in with Minnie, bought a pitcher of beer, and halfway listened to some crazy poets chant a continent of promises with Congo drum and shakir punctuating the rhythms and a flute solo bursting out over the tastiest of love poems. Maybe she slipped into Connie's for some curried goat and coconut bread or sweated spices next door, as Leonard pulled another sweet potato pie out of the oven and poured his brown, red, biting sauce over smoking, tender ribs, telling stories as she savored another mouthful. Then, when the street was ours. She can see those days. She knows them. She remembers before imported cheese, before brandy-filled truffles, before double lattes, handmade paper cards. She sits on the iron rim privately owned bench to rest her feet and take the pinch out of her back. She holds the bitter in her mouth, sometimes spits it out at passerby, with steel in her stare. There on that bench, on that corner, on that block, on that street that was ours, that was hers, that was taken, that we let go, that is lost, that was Filmo. When the street held the people, and the musicians had names, and the rhythm was blues, and the downbeat was jazz, and the color was black and fierce, like her. Cosmology, meditation, number 1. We are the memory of that place, without measure that filled all space, that never was and ever will be. That place existing as the perfect note, yet making no sound, holding all colors inside a light that was nothing but darkness. We are the memory of a breath that could not be but was a breath, that swelled to bubble, that burst and then collapsed. We are the memory, gestated in days, that lasted eons, as the universe's womb birthed heat, light, rock, ice, mineral song, us. We are the impossible made flesh, creating infinite possibilities of hope, or endless chasms of despair, inside the prayers which we have become. Nomo, how we come to speak. Before a generation passed, we children of the third word knew how to take the gift of language, contort it crimson, and sew it to our teeth. How we mangle this tongue that needs unending translation. We require it to be a constantly changing chameleon, a hypnotist, a con man, a cheat. With words we manufacture demons, we devour souls and erase memory. Look at how often we honor speech that can make us hate, that can cause us to deny our mothers, our brothers, ourself. We have articulated a deadly weapon that subverts knowledge and betrays faith. So how now do we again learn to listen with more than ears? At once try to speak with more than tongue. How now do we put our tongues back in our mouths? Year of the Dragon. Last year was the year of not dying. The bougainvillea startled me with its few wilting leaves hidden beneath a spray of thorns and tendrils. The lemon tree, stripped of its hard fruit, branches bent and torn, wept its leaves yellow onto the sandy dirt below, not sure if it would blossom this spring. My father's heart vibrated, buzzed, hummed, fluttered, but could not maintain measured beats. We held our breath as winter touched us softly, met January in stillness, tired and battered, counting heads to find we were all here once again. Maybe next year will be the year of forgiving, the year of rejoicing, or the year of silence. It's an abstract constellation we live in, knowing the clock will turn at any moment, and it will suddenly become the year of passing on, the year of roads that end. But this year is the year we survive, the year of not dying. The yes to life. I did ask to be born. When I was in that universal space between where I had been and here, when I was riding on X star in Y galaxy, on the plateau where birth meets passing on, I know I was one who pulsed, shone, sang, cajoled, yelled, cried, and pled yes. Yes, I want a tongue. Yes, I want to breathe. Yes, I want to dance. I want to be born. Of course, I didn't know what I was asking for. I had no idea of hunger or pain, could not conceive of the word for despair or the thought of utter loneliness, had yet to understand how suffer and celebration could sleep so close together. No, I didn't know, but I begged and begged until I got what I asked for. Every tongue, tip, mouthful, feather, touch, soft belly, pitted crag, breezy, gravely, moment out of life. I wanted it then, I want it now. Human. Under the brightest full moon, I am less than a microscopic speck on the edge of the universe's lens. How can a grain of sand be sentient? How can a drop of rain dream? But here I am, singing through the night.
To keep the channel going, please like and subscribe. Go to the description and our channel page for information on how to purchase books from our affiliate links. This is James. Keita and I thank you for listening.